Hi all, you are very welcome to your Pilates class today. My name is Audrey Clark. I'm the owner and instructor here at Haven Studios based in Navan, County Meath. So I'm coming to you today from the studio with a mat-based class suitable for beginners, and I'm delighted to be here in support of the Women's Aid organisation and also to support you guys with your 80-kilometre challenge. So with that, we're going to work through some various movements and some stretches today that will obviously assist you with your walking and hopefully give you some release and strengthening up the areas that we need. So obviously when we're thinking of walking, we're working on that frontal plane the whole time. So we're going to incorporate some twists and rotations, working on all planes, and also some nice stretches as well as working through the core, hips, some nice leg stretches particularly, and then into the spine. So when we're ready, just come up to standing, hip distance apart. Take your space with your feet hip distance, so only about 2 fists wide, or 6 inches or so. And then nice and long through the legs. Just keep the legs long, knees are soft. Hold your form, and then we're working through keeping that nice neutral pelvis. So what I mean by that is that you want to keep that natural curve in your lower back. So to do that, we just check in, make sure that our pelvis is in neutral. So heels of the hands to the hip bones, fingers down to the pubic bone, and you'll form a triangle here. So we want to try and keep that triangle nice and straight. Try not to let it tip down towards the floor and extending the bum back, or opposite way where we're bringing up the pubic bone to the roof. We want to bring it to neutral and hold. So with that, we have a nice natural neutral pelvis and curve in the lower back, and we want to try and maintain this position through everything. So when we're doing our walks as well, try and maintain that form, tighten up a little bit, work through that pelvic floor, and then just keep the form through the torso. So core engaged, ribs in, chest out, and we're rolling the shoulders back to release. So I start all of my classes the same way, just to bring you into the moment. Try and relax any tension, release any stress or anything around the shoulders, neck, and head. Just breathing into it. Stay with it. Opening out through the chest, roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades down. And then change direction, rolling forward. Stay with it. Breathing into it. Just for 2 more. For 1. Roll the shoulders back and down and standing tall. Take again that position, just check in, make sure we're nice and neutral, cores engaged, working through that nice posture. Hold. Inhale as you reach the arms out, lengthen the arms up and reach the fingertips to the roof. Hold it here. Try not to let the ribs open, keep them connected. Exhale, reach to the fingertips, down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen and reach. And exhale, reach to come down. Stay with it for another 3 or 4. Just lifting the spine up out of those hips. For another 1. Come back to your starting position, roll the shoulders down, bring the arms back up. This time we're going to take hold of the right wrist. Hold your left wrist with your right hand. Hold that form, inhale. And we're going to slowly pull on that wrist as we come into a little bit of a lateral bend. So coming to that side line, ear over bicep. And hold it there. Feel for that stretch. Just go to where you can go. Breathe into it. Stay with the breath. Exhaling as you go deeper. Inhaling back up to center. Changing hands, so grabbing onto that right wrist. Inhale, slowly pulling that arm over to the left. It's nice and slow. Keeping that ear on the left side over the left shoulder so as to keep your line so you're not going forward or back. Just crunching in on the left waist, opening up through the ribs on the right. Breathe into it and back up. Once you're here, reach the arms back out and relax it out. Roll those shoulders back. Hold your form. So we're going to work in through warming up the lower body here with the squats. So again, hip distance apart with the feet. For you guys, I'm going to turn to the side so you have a better eye. Hold it here. Slight hinge forward from the hips. Soft knees, but hinge forward first. Tighten the core, keep the back straight. And sit down behind. Pop that bum down. So just as deep as you can go. And hold. Stay here with it. When you're pushing up, push through the heels, tighten up through the glutes, so squeeze the bum cheeks together to standing. Inhale, back down. Exhale, push through the heels to come up. So you can go down as deep as you're able, but once you keep your form, don't let your back arch. Stay with the breath. Take it at your own pace, and again, as deep as you want and as many reps here as you want. Just working through those hips, working through the knees, tighten through the core, working the glutes and legs. Try to aim for about 6 to 8. Just 2 more. Arms in front or on the hips, whichever is more comfortable for you. Just keep the shoulders down. Come back up, roll the shoulders back and take a second. Again, we're going to work through the squats with a little bit wider then for our positioning. So open the feet out to shoulder width and angle the toes out. So this is a little bit more hip opening work here, so I just want you to be careful with it. Only go down as deep as you're able. Hold your form, nice and tall, roll the shoulders back, collarbones spread out, chest open. Hold, slight hinge forward again, same idea. This time as you bend your knees, just check they're tracking out over those toes. Hands to hips if you wish, or out in front. And as you come down, you take a seat behind you, same as we did before. As deep as you can go and as deep as your hips will allow. Push through the heels up to standing. Inhaling back out, just making sure knees over toes, whichever way they go, just make sure they track the toes and you feel that opening in the hip. So if you can only come down to here, that's perfectly fine. We're just working to where you're able and opening up and increasing that mobility over time. Inhaling as we come down. Exhaling, so you're pushing through the heels, using the bum to come up. Inhale as you come down. Tighten that core. Exhale, push through the heels to stand. Stay with it. Open up through those hips. Again for 6 to 8, or you can increase your reps to as much as you want. Just for another 3. For 2. And last one. Inhale down. Exhale. Up to standing. Shake it out. Any tension in around the ankles or in the hips, just shake out the legs. We're going to take a stance to the side of the mat here now and work again, opposite plane. So we were doing our squats in that lateral position, and now we're going to work through the frontal plane into your lunges. So hold your form, nice and tall. Take a step forward with the left foot to start. Hold it here and bend the knee in front as you bend the knee behind. So it depends on how far you need to step forward. Just check your bending knee in front is over your ankle and hold. So if you need a chair here for balance, certainly take one. Otherwise, just hold it here and drop the knee to the mat behind and back up. Drop it down, back up. Take your time. A little bit of balance is good here. Try and keep the core nice and tight and engaged. Again, 6 or 8 is plenty. Breathe into it for 3, 2. On the last one, drop the knee down, hold it there, hands down either side of that front foot, so the left foot in this case. Hold it here. So you can bring it to the fingertips like you're on a racing line here in the start line. Hold. Inhale. As you exhale, try to lengthen up both legs, just to where you can go. If you feel the hamstring too tight here and it keeps that knee bent, that's fine. Just take it where you can go. Bending both knees back to the mat. Lengthen. And stay with it, just for another 4. Again, just take it to where you're able. 3. For 2. And 1. Come down and hold. So drop that back knee to the mat. Take a second. Come away off the mat with the fingertips. Roll the shoulders back. Pop that front foot out a little bit deeper and lengthen and drop into that front leg. So you feel that full pull through the front of the hip onto the hip flexors and hold. So you can drop your fingertips down here or keep your hands onto your hips to deepen it a little bit more. If you want to increase this challenge, you can lengthen that back leg a little bit or keep the knee to the mat and hold. Stay here with it And we're going to work back. So push off, lengthen the front leg, drop the bum down to the heels, and open up through the back of that left leg now. Toes to the roof for that hamstring stretch. Hold it. If your toes are cramping behind, just drop your foot flat and drop down. Hold, inhaling back up, tuck your toes back under, back into that hip flexor stretch. Lengthen, hold, inhale, and work back. Lengthen. So don't hold tension anywhere, let the head and neck just hold its neutral position and look towards a natural line. Hold, inhale back up, and reach forward. Drop the pelvis down, hold, and back. Last one. Breathe into it, feel that pull into the leg, stay with it, back up, and back off. Hold it here, roll the shoulders back. If we can, come up to standing from here. Take a second and come back away. And we're going to change leg. So standing tall, hold, lengthen the right leg out in front, stay with it, drop the knee to the mat. Check in, just make sure your knee that's in front is bent over the ankle and come up into your lunge. So if you need your chair, certainly use it to balance, otherwise hold, drop the knee to the mat and up. Drop the knee and up. So it doesn't have to drop too far. You're okay just to come down an inch or so, just to feel the work through the legs. Just for another 3 if you can. For 2. For 1. Feel the burn through those legs. Hold it there. Hands down on either side of that right foot. Take a second. Breathe into it. Exhale, lengthen away. Lengthen both legs here as much as you can for that stretch into the hamstring and back of that right leg. Back down, feel that stretch in the quads. Exhale, push away and lengthen. Inhaling down. Stay with it. Again, just for 6 or 8. Take it at your own pace. Use the breath to focus through. 2. And 1. Come down again with that knee behind. Take a second. If you need to bring that front foot up a little bit more, certainly do. Drop into it, so bend in, lean in, and get that nice stretch through those hip flexors. Hold it here. You can lift the leg up off the mat behind if you want, or use the support of the mat and drop the knee down. Stay here just for a couple of seconds on the first one. Inhale and come back. Dropping the bum over the heels, the socks coming up. So back down and feel that pull through the leg, toes up to the roof. Hold. Inhale, back down, and opposite direction. Leaning forward. Keeping that leg long behind, or you can keep it up onto the tippy toes, whichever you prefer. Push back. Come down on the bum, down to the heels. Feel the pull through the leg. Back up. So it doesn't matter if you can't bring your bum all the way back. You're just trying to deepen the stretch. So just to where you go, to where you can feel it. So that could be high enough, or you can come right back with it. Hold. 2 more. Stay with it. 1 more. Come back up. And when we're coming up, as I said, you can keep your toes tucked under in the back leg. Come back to your starting position. Use your chair if you need to assist, or come up to standing, and then just bring yourself back up. So just roll out the shoulders. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch and release. Hold it there, and when we're ready, we're going to roll down. So just take a second. Standing where we were at the start for the lunge work. Hip distance apart. Have your mat in front for that length. Hold, inhale, exhale, chin down to chest. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, tuck your chin, curve the spine. Let yourself just come down towards the mat, curving and releasing. So keep the legs as straight as you can here. If you're experiencing any back pain, certainly bend your knees.
Otherwise, try and keep them straight without locking hard. Drop the head down. Let the arms just hang from the shoulders and breathe into it. Stay with the breath. Nice and deep, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let all the tension release out. I'm conscious you guys are obviously upside down here, so I don't want you to look to the screen as much. If you can, just follow through the cues. So hold your form and start to walk your hands out. So about 4 paces of your hands. So walk your hands about 4 steps. Not too big. Hold it there. What we're trying to achieve is push the heels down to the mat as best you can. If your heels are a little bit lifted, that's okay. We're just trying to push them down. As we do that, we push the bum back and ears between biceps, so between the top of those arms. Try and push your bum back behind, push the heels behind, and get that nice straight back into your downward dog. And hold it here. I know it's tough, so just stay with the breath. Try and push those heels back down with each exhale. Get that length and stretch into the back of those legs. Hold it just for 2. Just stay with it as best you can. For 1. And then just bring your shoulders up over the wrists and drop the knees down and take a breath. So just release and relax. We're going to take a seated position from here. So just make yourself comfortable sitting down. We're going to sit tall on the sit bones. So just face you guys for the first few. Hold yourself here. So you want to make sure that you've got a nice straight back. Spine is stacked, so your vertebrae are on top of each other, and sit bones down. When you're in this position, it can be difficult to have your legs straight out in front. So if you're experiencing any pain through the legs or lower back, bend your knees and keep your feet flat on the floor. Otherwise, we challenge to get the legs straight, toes up to the roof, and hold. So we're going to again work on through that side line. So keep yourself in position. Legs open a little bit wider, just to about the width of a mat, and hold it there. If you're comfortable, keep them straight. Bring the arms then out into a T alignment, so wrist, shoulder, and elbows are all in a straight line. Shoulders are down from the ears, hold. Inhale. As you exhale, think of your left side. We're coming in on down on that left like an airplane until your hand reaches the mat. Once it's here, we're going to turn the palm of the right hand as you bring your elbow down to the mat on the left and reach up and over. Try and keep both sit bones down on the mat. Hold. Inhale, back up. Out to your T. So if you find it too difficult to get your elbow down to increase that stretch, I'll come down again to show you modification. So hand down. If you can, bring your elbow in. You push your arm out as you reach over. And then bring your arm back in as you come back up. Bring your arms out to your T, hold, inhale. Exhale, down to your right. If we can, we try and drop that right elbow down, otherwise push the hand out. Reach the left arm up and over. Push the sit bones down on the mat. Hold. Inhale, back up. And out to T. So 2 more to each side. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, down. Elbow down. If you can, reach up and over. Inhale up. Out to T. And right side. Again, just take it to where you can go. Hold. Back up. 1 more to each side. Don't forget, if you start feeling pain through the hips, back or knees, be sure to bend your knees and bring your feet flat to the floor. Back out. Last one. And back. Hold and relax. So again, bring your knees in, flat feet to the floor. Sit tall for this one. I'm going to get you to keep your knees bent just to give your legs a bit of a release from that last position with the legs straight. Roll the shoulders back. This time hands up, just behind the ears or to the back of the head. Elbows out wide. And think of yourself as having a light here on your sternum. So we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So inhale. Exhale, just twisting to your right.
but twisting from the chest, thoracic twist almost. So you're twisting in the middle back. So think of twisting and bringing your chest to the other side. Inhale, bring that light into the center. Exhale, twisting to the left. Still keeping the hips facing forward. Inhale, back. Shoulders down. Inhale, exhale as you twist. Just to where you're able. Inhale, back. Anyone with any spinal issues here, bulging discs, or particularly osteoporosis, or osteopenia, or pregnancy, don't come into the twists here. Just a little bit of rotation would be plenty. Sit tall, nice and high on those sit bones as you go. For another 2. For 1. Come back to center, bring the arms down, roll the shoulders out. Stay seated, but this time bringing the soles of the feet together. And we're going to bring the feet together as you bring the heels back towards your pelvis as much as you can. So you can take a hold at the top of the feet, but just loosely grip. You don't want to put too much stress or grip too tight. And hold. So we're trying to let the knees drop out to each side, open out through the hips. Sit tall on those sit bones, straight back, and you'll feel that pull. So use the elbows, so open out the elbows, push down against those legs to lower them, but as you do that, lean forward. And that lean forward, so it's a hinge from the hips forward. You're not trying to curve forward, you're just reaching from the hips, hinging forward, pushing your elbows into the legs as you do so. And you'll intensify that stretch. So normally for these stretches, we'd hold them for 40 to 45 seconds, trying to get that release. So inhaling, exhaling. Tension is released as we work in a little bit deeper on that exhale. Stay with it. Exhale a little bit deeper. So each time you breathe out, get rid of the tension. Try and hinge a little bit more forward. So as much as it looks like a static stretch, it's actually more dynamic because you're constantly moving it even a fraction, a millimeter deeper with each exhale. Inhale once you reach your challenge point, exhale to deepen it. So full control and stay with the breath. For another 10 seconds, so breathe into it. Really nice hip opener. Breathe for another 5. Stay with it, lean, hinge forward. Keep that core still engaged so you're not dipping into the lower back. Last breath. Slowly come back up and slowly lengthen the legs out in front and hold. So for this one, I'll take a side profile for you guys to see a little bit better. So we're going to sit up nice and tall again, as I said, stacking the vertebrae, so nice straight back. If again there's any issues here, bend your knees if you're feeling pressure into the back or against the legs. We want to try and challenge it to get the legs straight, toes to the roof, shoulders back. Inhale. As you exhale, just lean forward and then reach the arms out in front and drop into a forward stretch. So it's a spine stretch forward. So think of lengthening out through the head here. Push the heels to the wall so you really feel that stretch into the back of the legs. And then just drop deep into this as much as you're able. Doesn't matter if you can't come down deep at all. We're just trying to get that stretch into the legs and stretch into the back. So just each time again as you exhale, try and come in deeper. Just even if it's a millimeter, doesn't matter. Just so you can challenge it and over time increase that drop. Stay with it. Inhale, back up. Think of stacking that vertebrae back up on top of each other for that straight spine. Exhale, keep your arms out in front. Curve as you hinge the hips. Head down, ears between biceps. And just try to lower into it. Hold, inhaling, back up. Nice stacked spine. Exhale, curve. Hold. Inhale, back up. Stay with it. Breathing into it. Come all the way up to sitting. Drop the arms, roll the shoulders out, and take a second. So from here, bend your knees if they're not bent already. Flat feet to the floor, sit bones up, nice and into the mat. Shoulders back and down. Reach the arms out in front. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck your tailbone as you curve back to sacrum. So when you're on sacrum, it's that flat bone at the bottom of the spine. Engage through the core. Hold. Just to feel that work through the abs. And if we can, we try to control it all the way back. If you feel you're hinging, which a lot of people at beginner level would do, pop your hands down and assist yourself down with your elbows. Otherwise, we try and challenge it to curve back, all the way down to lying back. And then just shift yourself forward or back so that you're on the mat in a lying down position. So hold your form, keep your legs nice and straight, but again, check in. So make sure your pubic bone and your tailbone are in the correct position. Tailbone should be into the mat, pubic bone should be flush and in that nice straight triangle between the hip bones and the pubic bone. You should have a natural curve in the lower back here if you can maintain a neutral spine. And we want to try and achieve that so we can work front and back muscles equally. Tighten through the core, arms down by your side, and then just roll the shoulders back into the mat and hold it there. So just stay with it, breathing into it, hold it there. When you're ready, we're going to just bend the left leg, pop that foot down onto the mat, keep the heel in line with the sit bones, and bring the right leg into what's called tabletop. So knee over hip, ankle at knee, and lengthen that leg to the roof as best you can, and hold. So when you're here, you can pop your hands behind the thigh from your head lying back, and pull that leg towards you to deepen that stretch. If you can walk your hands up a little bit further, do onto the calf, pull further back. Flex the foot, so flat foot to the roof to intensify the stretch. Take it to where you need to go, and if it's okay and you feel like you want to deepen it further, lengthen that left leg down to the mat. Toes to the roof, and pull that leg towards you, bend your elbows. So you're holding for that hamstring stretch, so that's what we want to feel it, all at the back of that right leg and the thigh. Hold it again for 2. Stay with it, challenge it, deepen it each time you exhale, pull that leg a little bit more towards you. Hold, really nice hamstring stretch. Stay with it. And then slowly release, bending that leg again on the mat, and bend the knee, bringing that right foot to the mat. Hold, changing leg. Left leg to tabletop, lengthen to the roof, flex the foot, hold on to the thigh, pull towards you, walk your hands up to the calf, pull towards you, much as you can, push the tailbone down into the mat so you're not lifting up, and lengthen that leg to challenge it. So again, lengthening the leg is progressive, wouldn't be for beginner level, but if you want to challenge it, certainly do. Just work through that stretch in the back of that left thigh. Hold it there. Stay with it. Breathing into it as you go. Deepen it. And then in your own time, just release. Bend the knee on the mat. Bend the leg to bring the foot down. Hold. One more to each side. Right leg into tabletop. Lengthen. Pull that leg towards you. Go to where you can. Flex the foot. Challenge to lengthen the left if you're increasing it. Otherwise, don't. And just keep it bent on the mat. It's fine. Hold, just for another 5 or so breaths. Stay with it, deepen it. Keep the legs straight here, lightly locking, not pushing through. Hold, let it release, back to the mat, bending the other leg. Hold, left leg to tabletop, lengthen, grab onto that leg, pull towards you, lengthen the right leg down to the mat. Hold it here. Stay with it. Breathing into it. Challenge to bring it back a little bit deeper. Hold. Stay there with it. And last breath. And release. So again, you can go as deep as you want with those and keep them going for as long as you want. Otherwise, just bring your legs back into position. Hold it there. And we're going to work a little bit through your hips here again. So into a number 4 stretch, we call it. So bring your right leg crosses over in front of the left thigh and hold. When you're ready, lifting that left into tabletop. Pop your hands in behind the thighs. You can interlink the fingers here, but keep your tailbone down. And again, try to draw your knee towards the chest. As you use your right elbow to push that right knee back as you bring that left knee towards you. And hold. So again, just deepen it to try and draw that knee closer towards you. Feel that pull right through the back, hips and into glutes. Stay with it. Deepen it. Last breath. Hold and release down. So drop that foot to the mat. Changing leg, right foot down, left foot over across the thigh. Hold. Lifting up again, tabletop. Grab onto the back of the thigh. Slowly draw the knee towards you as you use the left elbow to push out that left knee, to open out through this hip here a little bit. So just take your time. Left to right side can be very different. One side can be much tighter than the other. So just bear that in mind as you go and just work into whatever side you're on. So don't compare as such, just challenge accordingly. Breathe into it. Stay with it. And when you're ready, breathe and release. Drop the leg down. Again, dropping the other foot down to the mat. Hold. When you're ready, we're just going to lengthen both legs out. Check in on your form. Keep your tailbone down. Hold it there. When we're ready, bring that right leg up again into tabletop. Lengthen it to the roof, and this time working through some hip circles. So the leg circles. So hold it there. Inhale. And cross that leg over the left. Draw it down. And then come out wide, around and back up. So drawing a circle with that big toe. Over and across. Around. Back up. Stay with it. Just 3 to each direction. Nice and slow. Tailbone down. Let that leg roll around in that hip joint. Cross it over. Back up over the hips. Exhale out and around. 2. For 1. Back up. Hold. Bend the knee. Back to the mat. Take a second. Lengthen that leg back to the floor. Bring the left knee in. Hold into tabletop. Lengthen from tabletop as best you can. Hold your form. Inhale as you come over the right. Swooping down. Out and around. So nice and slowly. Feel for that rotation in the hip joint. So rotate the foot out as it comes around. All the way around. Again for 3 on each direction. Once you're back up over center, hold, inhale and change. Out. Around. Stay with it for another 2. The last one. Back up to the top, bend the knee, back to the mat, and then hold it there. So again, just take a second, release it out. Any tension, breathe into it, and relax. Hold. We're going to work a little bit through the core here. So bend the knees, keep the tailbone down, arms lengthened out by your side. Just get comfortable on your mat. Hold it here. So I'm going to work through with the feet on the mat to start. It's more of a modified beginner level. So bring the arms up with the feet down. Inhale as you prepare. On your exhale, we're lowering the arms as you lift head, neck and shoulders together into flexion. Tighten through the tummy here, so you're not letting it dome and you're not letting the back arch. No difference in your airways. You're not lifting with the neck, you're lifting with the core. Inhale as you bring the arms back up, head down. Exhale, lower the arms, lifting. Tighten through the core, reach. Inhale, back up. Stay with it. Use the breath. Release it out. If you want to increase the challenge, we bring our legs to tabletop. So with that, when the arms are up over the shoulders, legs into tabletop, knee in line with hip, ankle in line with knee. Tight through the core, inhale.
Exhale, lifting head, neck and shoulders. Tighten through as you reach. Hold. Inhale back. So as soon as the hands start to lower, think of a string between hands and head. The head, the neck and the top of the shoulders lift together. So there's no straining, you're not dropping your chin in and blocking your airways. Everything's neutral, tight through the core and hold. Inhaling back. Not long before you start to feel the burn in the core. But if you're experiencing pain in the neck, drop the head down. And if you're experiencing pain in the back, bring your feet back onto the mat like we did the first one. And keep your feet flat. Breathe into it. And we're going to stay with it for another 5. If you want to advance further, for any of you who might be more experienced with Pilates, you can of course lengthen your legs as you go. So you can lengthen them up or lengthen them out to more advanced. Keep them in tabletop for that modified version, a little bit easier. Or for that beginner version, feet to the mat. Take it at your own pace. Only want to feel this in the core, right through the tummy, no strain on the neck. So just working through the different variations for you with the legs as I go. You just choose what's comfortable for you. Another 2. Good. For 1. Back out. Relax the feet down, relax the arms, lengthen the legs, and take your breath. So breathe deep. Let the core recover. Stay with the breaths. Breathe into it. Nice and deep, into the nose, out through the mouth. And hold. Lengthen those arms out. Working through a little bit on the back, so keep the heels in line with sit bones. Inhale as you prepare. On your exhale, we're going to tip the tailbone up, peel up onto the shoulders. So only to where you can go. If you can only come up halfway, perfectly fine. Don't strain or stress any point on the back or anything through the legs. So if you're experiencing cramping in calves and hamstrings, just come out of this for a little bit and then come back in. Otherwise, tailbone's down as you start. Inhale. Exhale, tip your tailbone up, peel up. Hold tight through the core. Keep the tummy nice and tight. Trying to get that nice line from knee to hip to shoulders. Diagonal line, nice and straight. Use the glutes. Push the bum cheeks in together. Push the pelvis up. Tighten through the core and pinch on pelvic floor. So that's what we want to engage. So tighten up and stop that urinary flow. Working through that pelvic floor all the time as best we can. Hold. Inhale, exhaling, curve down through the spine, 1 vertebrae down at a time. All the way down, tailbone down, finish. Inhale again, exhale, tip your tailbone, peel it up. Hold, stay with it, tight through the core. Inhale up the top, exhale to roll it down. Just keep it nice and simple and slow, thinking of each vertebrae as you come down. Inhale up the bottom, exhale, peel up, all the way up onto those shoulders, only if you can, just take it to where you're able. Hold it as high as you can. Exhale, think of your vertebrae from the top of the spine. Each one is to come onto that mat. So try and curve into it as best you can. Again, if you have any particular issues with osteoporosis, come up for a straight back bridge. So that would mean you lift straight up. No curving, just straight lines. If we can and you're able, we curve down through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Again, osteoporosis, you just come down straight all together. Last one, exhale, peel it up. Really nice release through that back, working in the opposite direction to when we were doing those crunches or the ab work. Hold, inhale, exhale, curving down. So we're just always working through that flexibility into the spine as best we can. Tailbone comes down, hold. Lengthen the legs out. Reach the arms out behind. So we're going to work in through what's called your roll up. I don't expect you to come up unassisted.
So don't feel like you swing yourself up here because you'll do more damage with the back. But I want you to take it in control. So reach the arms up over the shoulders. And as they start to come up, start to lift your head, your neck and shoulders and curving up. So at this point here, you might need to drop your hands down to assist. Otherwise, curve all the way up to sitting tall and then reach forward into that spine stretch forward position. So your ears again are between your biceps, so the top of your upper arms. Curving the spine, hinging the hips, toes to the roof, getting that stretch into those legs. Hold, inhale, up, nice and high onto those sit bones. Roll the shoulders back and relax. We're going to change position into a box and come into all fours. So when you're here, we're just going to work so your wrists, elbows and shoulders are aligned. Knees down, under the hips. Hold your form, focus to the floor. Nice straight back, so tighten through the core and hold. Nice and simple, really good release for the back here as well. Inhale. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone under and draw your head down, curve the spine and look to the belly button. So we're working through cat and cow, it's called. Hold it here, angry cat position. Inhale, back to neutral. And again, if there's no issues with the back, extend. So open out through the chest, pop the bum out behind. Inhaling. Exhaling as you curve. So empty the lungs out with breath. And curve, arch the spine. Look towards the belly button. Tuck your tailbone under like a dog does with its tail between its legs. And inhale, back to neutral. And open. 2 more. Exhale, curve. Draw under, arch that back. Hold it there. Inhale to neutral. And open. Bring it back to neutral and hold. So that's sternum, where I said that light was in for that twist work that we did. So just think of that light in your sternum again, and we're coming for those sternum drops. So you're going to push your sternum to the mat. Shoulder blades come in together, tight through the core, so you're not dipping into the lower back. You're pushing that chest bone into the mat. Inhale back. Exhale, push it in. Draw the shoulders away and down. Inhale back. Push the sternum down to that mat. Inhale back. Stay with it. Still tight through the core for 2 more. For 1. Really nice release through the shoulders here, chest and back. Hold it then. Keep your form. We're going to bring the heel of the left foot up towards the bum and hold. So I want you to imagine your foot here is a tail. So we're going to swing the foot out. Your tail's coming out and you're looking towards it. So look to that big toe. So you're curving in on the side here, crunching in, opening up on the opposite side. Hold it there. And then cross the body and look to the toe. Good. Back around. Think of that foot as a tail that's wagging side to side. Nice stretch and release through that lateral bend. 2. For 1. And back down. Changing leg. Right heel to the bum. Swing it out to the right. Look to the big toe, or little toe if you can't see it. Hold. Across the opposite leg. And look. Keep the core still tight. Don't let your tummy drop to the mat. Don't let your lower back dip. You have a natural curve in that back anyway, just don't let it exaggerate. 1 more to each side. Bring it back. And release. Keep your position, feet in together, open the knees out a little bit wider, and to finish, come into child's pose. So drop the bum right down over those heels. Walk the hands out, head down,
Looking again towards the belly button. Feel that stretch and release into the back and also into your hips as you push the bum down and open those knees out to either side. Breathe deep. Nice and relaxed. For 2. For 1. And then make your way back up.
So that's it for your session today. I really hope you enjoyed the class. As I said, everything will obviously help for all of the walking that you'll be doing. If you can incorporate some of the movements when you come back from your walk, even better. So just fast forward or rewind and do as many reps as needed for each of the movements depending on your ability. And also just to make you aware, if you enjoyed the mat class, Haven Studios is now going online with Your Haven at Home. So it's a video on demand library that has been set up. So it'll have multiple classes, mat classes and info sessions that will be uploaded quite regularly and kept up to date. It'll be run as a subscription, so it'll be $9.95 a month, so you'll have access to multiple videos and multiple classes for that $9.95. And it'll be available to all levels, and then it'll be body specific, so we'll have points of, for example, like today was more about movements for walking. We've got lower back, neck and shoulders, so they're categorized, some are longer, some are shorter. So if there's anything you need or any information that you need further, just give me a call or you can text me or email me. Everything's on the website at havenstudios.ie. I really hope you enjoyed it and best of luck with the walk. Take care guys. Thanks so much. Bye now.